Hey guys, welcome to today's video. In this tutorial, we're going to talk about the differences between P2P, stun, and turn connections, and how they work in internet calling applications. We'll also see how, in some cases, it's possible to observe IP addresses during a call by analyzing network traffic. We'll do all of this for educational purposes to better understand how internet communications work and how to protect our privacy. For this example, I'm going to use well-known applications like WhatsApp and Telegram. In addition, we're going to use a widely used tool in networking and cybersecurity called Wireshark to observe network traffic during a call. Before we start with the test, let's quickly explain what these concepts mean. First, we have the P2P connection, which stands for peer-to-peer. This means that communication is established directly between two devices without going through an intermediary server for the call data. This usually offers lower latency and better connection quality. Next, we have STUN, which stands for Session Traversal Utilities for NAT. This protocol allows two devices to discover each other's public IP addresses and attempt to establish a direct connection even if they are behind routers or NAT. Finally, we have TURN, which stands for Traversal Using Relays around NAT. In this case, if a direct connection between the two devices cannot be established, the communication is sent through an intermediate server acting as a relay. I'll show a small diagram on screen to better understand how these three connection methods work. Now that we understand the theory, let's move on to the practical part. The first thing we'll do is open Wireshark. Wireshark is a tool that allows us to analyze network packets in real time, which means we can see the traffic passing through our network interface. We select our network interface and begin capturing packets. For the first test, we'll use Telegram. In this case, I'm going to make a test call to my own device to generate call traffic. While the call is being established, we'll apply a filter in Wireshark to see only the traffic related to the communication. We apply the filter, and at that moment when the call starts, we can see the packets related to that connection begin to appear. This is where we can observe the exchange of network packets that occurs during the call. Once the Telegram call ends, we pause the capture so we can analyze what happened. Now we're going to do the same test, but with WhatsApp. We restart the capture in Wireshark and this time make a call using WhatsApp. While the call is active, we apply another filter to observe the traffic related to this application. And as we can see, the packets associated with the call begin to appear. Here we can observe the IP addresses involved in the communication and how the packets are exchanged during the call. When we end the call, we stop packet capture. Now let's briefly discuss how to protect our privacy if we don't want our IP address exposed in direct connections. One option is to use TURN servers, which route communication through a relay server instead of directly connecting the two devices. Another option is to block the use of STUN on our network. For example, some STUN servers use UDP port 3478, so a firewall can block outgoing traffic from that port to prevent those types of connections. And an even simpler option to protect your IP address is to use a VPN, which will route your internet traffic using a different IP address instead of your own. This adds an extra layer of privacy when using communication applications. And that's all for today's video. If this worked for you, let me know in the comments. And if you had any problems or questions, you can also write them there and I'll try to help. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you found it helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want more cybersecurity and ethical hacking tutorials like this one. See you in the next video.